Hello, hello, welcome on everyone. Welcome to Spilling the Tea. This is episode 29. Wait, I need to actually remember this. That doesn't tell me. 29, yes. And we have our guest today. Um if you wouldn't mind giving yourself a introduction, please.
Ah, I am Varag of the Bloodhorn Satyr, and I am the Warlock of the Herd.
Okay, well, appreciate you coming on in. Thank you very much. Um So, spilling the tea here. This is just a quick explanation for those coming on in on how we do this. So there is a set list of questions, going from kind of more like simple questions to kind of more a bit more complicated. Uh, but so we'll start off as like, what is your favorite XYZ, and I give people the option of, if you can't pick a top favorite, you can give a top two or three. Um, of whatever the question is, and also to people in chat. Um, while I have a set list of questions, feel free to ask questions in the chat. Just as long as it's TOS friendly, feel free to ask that. Just put that in the chat, and provided and we should be able to get to that, no problem. Um, but to start us off, uh, first question. What is your favorite color?
Red.
Red. Okay. Um, do you
Also,
have?
my PNG keeps jumping like that. I don't know why my mic sometimes thinks I'm making noise.
Oh, I I I think you're fine. I don't know. Sometimes like my stuff has done that before too. So sometimes Discord can be a little bit sensitive, but you're good. You're good. Um, is there a particular shade of red that you particularly like?
The more darker colors, so maybe burgundy would be a more specific one.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Nice, nice, nice. Burgundy is a very nice shade. Um, it's kind of bold, but also kind of chill at the same time. Um, what is your favorite drink?
Now, I could say mead, which is a honey wine, for those not familiar. However, at this one place I've been to, they served I believe it was a peanut butter lager, and I've been
Mm-hmm.
chasing it ever since because
Oh,
they didn't do it the next time we visited, and then we stopped going there because a friend moved.
oh. Did you find out like what brand it was, or?
No, I didn't think about asking.
Oh no. Uh, I don't know. Maybe you can call the restaurant and ask them if they maybe by chance remember. Uh, but what about, what is your preferred tea?
Uh, Mine is actually kind of simple. It's a raspberry flavored, like raspberry leaf tea.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. More going for herbal tea. Okay, okay. Um, but what is your favorite dessert?
Mm. Despite my many fangs, I kind of lack a sweet tooth actually.
Mm-hmm. I guess, is there something that maybe kind of uh that maybe you get like, mm, that I guess maybe you have more of like an exception for, or whatever. You don't usually like sweet things, but okay, when this goes on, maybe something more in like a bitter.
Actually, I would probably say like honey buns because I do have honey is one of those exceptions.
Okay. Yes. Sure. But now, what is your favorite sauce?
Jalapeno hot sauce.
Is there like a particular brand of it, or just that you in particular
Uh,
like, or just you know, you can find some.
the brand I use typically try to go for is one called Yellowbird.
Hmm. I'm wondering why this
Very
is
generic sounding.
okay. Yellow bird hot sauce. I'm wondering what this looks like. Okay, I feel like I've seen this before.
There's probably better ones out there, but that's the one I use.
Hold on, let me pull this up. I can't decide if I've seen this one of these bottles of some sort before or not. It's kind of one of those designs that looks really familiar, but I'm not 100% I've seen it, or if I've just seen something that looks like it. But let me put this up.
Yep, that's the one.
And then a random person's hand. Okay. Uh, question: what is your favorite type of pizza?
Mm, bacon chicken barbecue.
Bacon chicken. That sounds pretty good. Um, is there like a pizza place or some place in particular like you like getting it, or like a local spot, or maybe just a chain?
A local spot. I haven't been to many like chain areas that do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it did sound kind of specific, so I'd imagine you have to find it. So, all right. So moving on, and I will allow I will allow light novels or manga slash graphic novels for as an answer. But what is your favorite book?
Uh, give me one moment. I am actually just gonna go to the bookshelf and grab it.
Oh, no problem. Bet I hope everyone's having a lovely evening as we're stream. Whenever you, and once again, if you have any questions that you have for our guest, please feel free to put those in the chat, and we should be able to get to them. As long as you don't ask them right as we're about to raid out or something, we should be able to do it.
I actually had to go take it out a little bit, but Mark of Chaos. It's um, fairly uh, not, it's not a like famous Warhammer book.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the Warhammer old fantasy books.
Oh wait, so it's so wait, it is a Warhammer book or
It, it's one of the fantasy books, but it's one of the older fantasy books from Warhammer.
oh, okay. So like okay, so it's like a story in the Warhammer universe. You know, it was just written like a couple decades ago or something like that.
Yes, I can't find a proper date right real quick though. Uh, yeah, 2006.
Mm.
So not too long ago in comparison to some Warhammer books.
Okay, well, what is the is it following a specific faction or character or
It
is it
is
about?
actually the novelization of a early 2000s video game,
Oh, okay. Well,
which I know makes it very sound very weird, but
no, I just,
um,
what video game is it the novelization of?
uh, it's the same. I think like Mark of Chaos.
Okay, now I'm curious.
I've seen the trailer many times. I actually haven't played the game.
Warhammer Mark of. Okay, so first released in 2006 on Windows. Okay. And just sort of, okay. A game of strategy released by Namco. Hey, and Deep Silver. Yay. Got excited because Deep Silver is behind is the publisher of is one of the publishers of Kingdom Come Deliverance, so
I think they're the
excited.
publisher for quite a few of my favorite games too.
Yeah, there are quite a few. Let's see, because it were hold on. I saw something. Deep Silver. Uh so it was originally the Saints Row games. Dead Island, Metro.
Yeah, Metro, that's the one.
Mm,
The one I associate with them.
but yeah, I was going to the sometime I really need to do the third Saints Row game. Also, the first one is okay, so I need to do that because I've streamed the second one, which is really good. You have to. Unfortunately, you kind of like at this point like want a mod. There's like kind of a at this point there's sort of like a large, unofficial official patch at this point,
Um,
but it's fairly easy to install at least for the second game. Um, but he and then so what is your favorite movie?
yeah, the Northman.
The Northman. That's the one that came out that's sort of that's isn't that the one to where it's sort of like the sort of like a Norse setting retelling of Hamlet.
Yes, because Hamlet was a retelling of a Norse saga.
Ah, okay.
And in fact, the main character of Hamlet was just a mixture of Amleth, the original character.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to think. It's like I think I've heard like good things about that film. Um, if I remember correctly, it's been a few years since it came out. When did that come out?
2022.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Um, because I knew it was recent, but it wasn't super recent.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's and I just am a very big fan of history,
mm,
especially that era. So getting a very like realistic movie with a lot of research done for the movie was made it even better for me.
mm. Yeah, in that case, you all right, you may actually want welcome to another episode of Virgil B. Cobalt pressuring people into playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. Um, but
I played the first one a little bit.
oh, okay, which it it does take some getting used to, especially the first of the games. And I do kind of, and I still like mod it to where like the save system pretty much works on like Skyrim, because I'm a pansy that it's like, no, I need to be able to save at the drop of a hat.
I I do that quite often in games where it's like that's a lot of enemies. Let's see if I can fight them.
Drop quick save. But yeah.
Actually, funny you should mention Kingdom Come because one of my like memories of that game was stumbling upon a like I forget what the like is it cumin or I forget the name of the enemy kingdom.
Oh, the like the mercenaries that the
Yeah,
mercenaries that come in. Yeah.
yes. I stumbled upon a camp of just two of them, and I was not supposed to do that yet in that point of the story. So I kept fighting the one with the sword until both of our blades were blunted, our armor was broken.
Oh yeah.
It, but in the end, got an arrow in the back.
Oh yeah. That is kind of like the cuz especially the so like in the first game, I think the second one, first one especially, second one it's not as bad, but like it is easy, like your first inclination and open and like when you can kind of get when you finish like the prologue section of Kingdom Come one is you just kind of want to like go off and venture off without like doing a couple things that really will prevent you from getting completely smashed. But it's very easy to come into contact with dudes with very good weapons and armor, and you're slow skill level Henry, and it's just you are about to get thrashed. You are just you are getting in a war of attrition against your other opponents,
Hmm.
even if it's just a couple dudes. Uh
Finding my first Hound Skull helmet and just thinking, oh, I'm invincible now.
oh yeah. Bonk. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, in this the second run they've kind of they've it's still possible to do that, but like it's somewhat because there's two maps as opposed to just the one map. Well, there's two big maps as opposed to just one big map. And then so like the first map section you territory you're in is basically kind of like for the first half of the game it's very much all the enemies are going to be around that skill level type stuff or not. They're only up to a certain like equipment level or difficulty level sort of. And then when you get to like so you can still do the I just ran into some enemies that are I definitely was supposed to I'm definitely not supposed to be in this section of the map yet. But it's still not completely oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. So um
But I do enjoy games with a learning curve, so I might try to hit it back up again.
yeah. There is I will say the prologue section there's a technique that you learn uh that um that you learn from like a sergeant at arms like in the first city that you're actually able to do. You need to learn what's called the master strike. Once you're able to do that, go get them. Within reason, because you still don't have that good equipment yet. But you have hope. You have a chance. I'll put it that way. You have.
Actually, I just remembered another moment from the first game. There's this mission where you get to find a priest in he's like also the town drunk or something like that.
Mm.
And when I found him, he was out practicing some sword strikes out in the open.
Oh, Godwin.
Yes.
That's right. And
And
yeah.
I got too close to like I was walking behind him and his sword swing went wide and knocked me out.
Oh, Godwin and his chicanery. Um, yeah, which actually which it is neat because you actually there's a few sections where you actually get to play as him in the second game, like for some storytelling and stuff like that, which are neat. So he gets a much he gets a little bit better. He gets more screen more importance as a role in the second game, which is cool. So if you happen to like drunk priest character, more reason to finish the first one and play the second.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Um, let's see. Hey, welcome on into Anarchist Agent. We cold, we are alive. Fuck, good, yeah. Me and Anarchist, we live in the same state. Although they're living in a section that has more difficult weather. Put it that way. Sage it, yes. So,
I also live in a place where the winter has finally gone sour.
oh, so I am currently, yeah. It's not so much, but the weather isn't so much. So I live in Northeast Texas, and it's more of uh um oh, it's 9 degrees where you are. Oh, dadgum. Yeah, I'm still at 34 degrees. So apparently, in a couple, I think it's like tomorrow. No, wait, it's Sunday. It may actually get to down to 9 degrees for a bit, but So, but right now it's more of the I don't even remember what of because it kind of made like or whatever of my bad 6 degrees. Oh, okay. Yeah. So on the plus side, I might actually see snow. On the bad side, I don't trust my state's power grid because
Uh,
that was the because there was the thing that was in winter of 2001. Like my neighborhood was like fairly lucky. We only had like brief power outages, but there were like there were a lot of places where they were like without a power for like days and it was below freezing temps. So you had people's people's toilets were frozen in some places. The water in the
oh no.
toilets. Cuz it's we're not really this is the neck of the woods where we're normally like we're normally used to like the other side of the spectrum. So, triple digit heat in summer. Um, you know, we kind of expect that.
Hmm.
But so when it gets below a temp and especially if there's sort of some sort of precipitation, we like completely freak out. We're like, "Oh my gosh, we're all going to die." So, yeah.
I know someone from like down in the southern parts of North America, and they told me that they got to leave work early because of the snow. And I was actually confused because I forgot the South is just not ready for stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, there are parts of the US that are just like, yeah. We're for needing to be able to crank up AC and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, we're ready for that. For the other or, dodging tornadoes. Winter weather. I saw Snowflake. Everyone there was a King of the Hill episode about that basically. They're having like a cookout and then someone sees a bit of like snow and then they're all like, "Oh my gosh." And it's like, "Everyone, don't panic. We've been trading for this." Because they work in propane, so they got to make sure it's like there's snow on the damn ground right now. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't think there's any yet in my area because it still needs to get a couple. Maybe in the morning tomorrow it'll be whatever. Um, or it could just be ice. So yeah. Uh, are like what if you don't mind me asking? So what neck of the woods are you from then?
Great Lakes region.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. So then yeah, you're used to you're used to snow. You look at our like small stuff and you're like, that's adorable. Uh,
So that's why I was very confused because like we still go around when there's ice and stuff.
yeah,
So hearing like snow on the ground, everything is canceled, kind of confused me.
yeah. We aren't used to putting because it's when was the last time we actually had snow? I don't think we had snow last year. Well, wait. I think we had some for like 2 hours at some point, or kind of snow maybe like for 2 or 3 hours, like once last winter, and then it was gone. Um, so it's so I so especially in the past when I was a kid, we had so like 1990s, when I was a real little kid, like we maybe got one or two times a year, maybe a snow day, or we maybe once or twice got some snow, and maybe one of those days was like a really good snow that where we might have a that some schools might have a snow day, but
Mm-hmm.
that's that became that's become less and less. So yeah, it really is. Yeah. Uh, so sometime we have gotten where times will be cold, but like no precipitation. So this may be a rare time where we actually get. Right now, it's just kind of wet, but it's not cold enough. So at least where I am. Um, so maybe I'll actually see neat snow. I'm so excited. As long as the power grid holds. Um, but so what is your favorite, I guess, TV series or episodic streaming content? Uh, if at this point.
It's been swapping around a while, but I always tend to just go back and watch. Oh, I forget the name of the creator, but Primal,
Oh, Tartakovsky, I think is the last name.
something like that. Yeah, that could be it.
I can't remember the first name, but yeah, I need to watch that. Give that a shot at some point because it looks neat. And not surprisingly, when I mentioned some of the stuff about when I was a child, it meant I watched a show or two where he was animated, where he was one of the leads on the project. So, uh, let's see. Uh, Now, what would be your favorite musician or music group?
Uh, Actually, I could just say like both of them are just. It's the band itself is just one. It's like a solo project.
Mm-hmm.
But Black Braid by the person behind it is John Krieger.
Mm-hmm.
They also go by like a native name,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm gonna just put down in chat so everyone can try to pronounce that.
I can see why you just put it in. Yeah, I can see why you just typed it in chat.
But I think it is pronounced Skaga Soa.
Yeah,
I think I could be wrong on that.
I think the closest like native word that I can probably get somewhat close is uh the Algonquin name for Milwaukee, Milwaukee, and The reason is specifically because of the bit from uh, Wayne's World, the bit where Alice Cooper shows up as the bit. But yeah, it was. You said so the group name was it was Black Braid,
Yes, one
B R
word, Black Braid.
Braid.
Yes,
Okay.
they're American indigenous black metal.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Neat. Need to make a note of that. That sounds interesting. Wait, not new folder.
And
Neat.
right now they have three full albums, just called Black Braid 1, 2, and 3. I think they released something fairly like an EP recently.
Hmm. Yeah. Normally, I'm not really into like black metal, but something done by black metal, and also don't think that's done by actual like with that specific kind of with that sort of like bent to it. Sounds very interesting. So, um, sounds like something I listened to during class, or like a music class or something. Uh, yeah, let me hold on. Ah, no, I closed the text document with my questions on it because I was writing down. Why did I do that? Okay, there we go. Now
Okay.
what is your favorite album?
Give me a moment. Trying to think back of all the bands. Uh, Despite Black Braid being my current favorite band, my favorite album is from Amon Amarth, Surtur Rising.
Sure. What was that first word?
Surtur. It's
Cert.
a Norse word.
Oh, okay.
Surtur.
Yes, you are. Oh, okay. And what was the band's name again?
Amon Amarth.
Amon Omarth. Okay. So is that what is that also a black metal, or is that or a different genre
That
metal?
melodic death metal.
Ah, okay.
Not to, Despite the band being associated with like Vikings, Viking metal is a different genre.
Mm. Although that makes me want since you mentioned you like history games, and then also you like metal or whatever is it's like t- did you ever like look into uh the late Sir Christopher Lee's symphonic metal band he was a part of?
Yes,
Okay,
I
I was wondering because they had that whole like several albums that were just metal albums about Charlemagne, which is a very interesting concept. So that kind of sounded like something that combined a lot of your interests. So I figured I'd ask. Ah, seriously. Christopher Lee was the most interesting man in the world. I swear.
Yes. Like, oh, like most famous thing he's probably memed about nowadays is the when like Lord of the Rings, like his character gets stabbed in the back, and they wanted him to make a sound like a scream. And he said, "That's not how. That's not what the sound you make when you get stabbed in the back." And nobody questioned him.
That's what, yeah, that's my mind immediately went to, and I kind of had an idea about what you were going to go with. Because he was, because he was in the British, like their special
Was
forces during,
S SAS, I think it's called.
yeah, I think so. I know that's for sure. I'm not sure if that had the same title as during, oh, well, maybe, yeah. But he was during that, in that, or its equivalent, like during World War II. So if anyone knew what it sounded like for someone to get stabbed in the back and it go into their lung, he would be someone that knew. And I think it was specifically, it was Peter Jackson himself who was like, "Oh, when you're getting, try to do that." It's like, no, the air is escaping, so you don't really make us. They don't really make us. It's good to go. Just go, and that's it. Oh man. Uh. Okay. Uh. Then okay. So what is your favorite game then? Going into the gamer questions because we're gamers on this channel.
Yeah. Uh, I would actually have to say Skyrim, Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim.
Mm, because it's which that's probably a lot of people's, honestly, and for I mean, good reason.
Like, it is a like still to this day a very beloved game.
Yeah.
Even like the old like 2011 versions are still being played.
Mm. I mean, it's still just like it is a neat just place to explore around. So they there's a reason people will somehow still give Bethesda the time of day despite being constantly disappointed by it. It's like you don't understand. Sky.
God damn it, Todd Howard. Yes, I will buy the game again, but god damn it.
Uh, do you like to play it? Do you like to play it with any like mods, or you just do vanilla?
I am actually currently doing a heavily modded um, playthrough on stream.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I didn't. I did. At some point, I guess I'd have to do like one of the Skyrim games. Um, yeah, I've been really tempted because I'd be very interested in playing like the remastered of Oblivion because of just like that was like the first Elder Scrolls game I played, like on
Hmm.
that I played on like my brother's Xbox 360. Um, and then, but not. Although I guess this sort of Bethesda, but not since it was made by Obsidian. But the Fallout New Vegas, I did a playthrough, and I did have like some mods. It wasn't like super heavily modded. Well, there was like some graphical stuff, like improvements in terms of like
Yeah.
background, and especially with New Vegas has the that that late 2000s P filter look that
Hmm.
every game came out that has it. I freaking hate with a passion. So it's like anytime I play a game during that time, okay, I need the D piss filter mod. Thank you. Where is one?
And the Fallout before that, Fallout 3, known for being tinted green everywhere.
So, oh yeah, but thankfully that's easy to fix. And then I did have a few teehee silly ones. I had I had to I had the Mr. New Vegas replaced with AI Dagoth Ur. So
Oh, yep.
someone plugged it in when like if it was like in the height of the Dagoth Ur AI just reading stuff. So that was like the thing. AI Dagoth Ur just sounds very. It's one of those voices that just for whatever reason works really well being reproduced by tech. So um so
Like,
means
it is easy. Like, it does like very like well copy the way he talked in Morrowind.
yeah.
Of course, with the AI version, he's a much more of a joke than he was in the game.
Oh yeah. So but it's but yeah, so they literally like put all the dialogue that Mr. New Vegas says and put it through that. They did change some or whatever, so it makes sense of like, oh, it's if it was Dagoff talking, of course he'd use this word instead of that. So you'd have occasionally him being different. Um, but having that in my ear while playing New Vegas was a treat. Um, yeah, among a few other Easter eggs, but man, that's such a good game. Uh, but uh, but all right. So what is your favorite game character?
Oh, this is actually kind of tricky because there's. I'll just say now, like I always pay attention to the villains more than like,
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of just make it easier on myself, I will just pick someone from Skyrim and probably go with Mirak, who was like the main antagonist of the second major DLC, the Dragonborn DLC.
Oh, okay. Um, is it not like the
He
one
was
with
he,
like the dragon priest stuff?
yes, the one
Okay.
with like the Cthulhu inspired mask.
Okay. All right. 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 Right.
Another Elder Scrolls character like known for wearing a mask, but is not as famous as Dagoth.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Next. Uh. So what is something that is um. And this doesn't have to be about games or anything like it can be, but it can be about movies or anything or food or whatever what have you. But what is something that is overrated and then something that is underrated?
You are trying to get me killed, I see. Um, I'm not sure if it's something I consider overrated or if it's just a pet peeve that will not leave my mind,
Mm-hmm.
but um, I take issue with people like taking something like something that's supposed to be very serious and like turning it into like a meme. But that's also just because I hate memes,
Oh,
if I'm gonna be honest.
like a specific type of meme or just like memes in general?
Mm, I would probably say like trying to think of an example, but I can't. Nothing comes to mind. But I mentioned Warhammer earlier, so if I can put that in context to that, I'm not sure if people are gonna get this, but
Mm-hmm.
in like Warhammer, it has an issue where a meme will become popular, and that will override actual like lore.
Mm-hmm.
So like the most common one is there's an army in 40K called the Death Corps.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke is that they are it's an army that is entirely suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
But in the books in tabletop, they are just like they don't they see themselves as expendable, which there is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I take issue with like again, I'm not sure if this counts or if it's just me venting, but the shovel wielding gas mask guy who runs into gunfire compared to the guy who's like stuck in the trench and is just waiting. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but
I think I kind of see what
but
you're trying to get across.
for a more like actual overrated thing that I have issue with is I think a lot of like there's quite a few horror games that are popular and I don't see why
Mm-hmm.
all the like jump scare games,
Oh,
and that's
right.
how I call them. Like I know Five Nights at Freddy's is like a cornerstone now, but I don't see the appeal
Mm-hmm.
because I just don't find like sitting and waiting for a PNG to pop up to be scary.
You find it like more obnoxious than like scary or whatever. You know, I so I which yeah, I definitely I don't know. I like personally kind of find that sort of like where it's just kind of like it doesn't really. I was trying to think in terms of movie to. Well, I guess part of it, maybe like why the type of stuff became popular is just sort of like the time in which it came out. That like very much product of its time. It was also like the first thing that kind of uh the first type of thing of that genre of stuff. So, people complain, oh, this is something like really different or like unique or whatever, which is true.
Yeah, it
And
hit at the
then,
right time to become the
yeah.
trends there.
And then, yeah, especially like in terms of with like internet culture where it was content like gaming content creators like just starting to get begun, so you also had a lot of people coming in there and using that for stuff. And there's a lot of this stuff where it's like things that there's the types of games that I would never play, but I would definitely watch someone else play them.
I do that too,
Just to,
admittedly.
it's like I would not want to suffer that, but I would want to watch someone else suffer through that. It's like I would not play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, but I would watch someone else play them. Um, but okay, but then what is something that you think is underrated?
This might be a weird example, but um, darkness in games, not like thematic darkness, but actual visual
Mm,
darkness. Again, kind of going to horror games for an example. Um, Amnesia, that whole series where you don't fear the thing showing up, you fear that the like it's out there
mm,
more than actually seeing it.
right.
Like, I think Soma might do that. I actually haven't played that yet. I need to. But I think that also plays with there are things in the dark, and that's scarier than
Yeah.
seeing it.
Yeah. You know there's something out there and you don't know if it's, 5 feet away or, you know, several rooms away or, off in the corner that you can't see. Um, yeah. Um, okay, we're in an ad break now. So we're gonna do that and then we'll be right back. So
All right.
I would see y'all just in a few. right, welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for your patience. Um, we are back with our guest, Parag Bloodhorn. Um, like I said in the chat, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, so that way we can get to them. Um, all right, now is what is your favorite non-curse word?
I gave this as an answer for favorite show, but I will actually just say primal, the word itself,
Mm,
because yeah, like, it's one of those words that's like fairly simple, but it has a lot of meaning behind it.
mm. Yeah, it does definitely have a lot of like oomph behind it. Um, okay, now what is your least favorite word?
Any slang that my nephews use.
I'm gonna refrain from starting out of courtesy. I will.
It's nothing bad. It's just what's the like the instead of actually swearing.
The ah instead of sweat.
It, uh, don't make me say it in context, but like it's supposed to be like a way to say ass, but I don't understand why you don't just swear.
So it'd be
Like,
like, "I'll you dumb ah."
yes, exactly like that.
Huh. I don't think I've heard that one before. I was thinking of
I have teenage nephews. That's the problem.
okay. Okay, that must be like a very recent thing or whatever. I don't know. Cuz
I think it is.
I was thinking of I started thinking of Riz or Bussin or
Any one of those, really.
um or no cap.
It could also be me being a stubborn goat that I am and just not liking the new words.
Uh the way though I'm kind of like thinking of so it'd be like you mother ah. So would that be like is that this does this become like the Gen Alpha version of like saying cheese and crackers or oh Jiminy Christmas? Is that what that is?
I don't know. I think it's just a different way to say ass. Like that's all I ever like hear it use. But they also use it for like emphasis, I think.
Mm. So okay, so it's replacing the specific term ass,
Yeah, it's just
not a curse
a,
in general. Okay.
I think I think it's just a way to get away with saying ass without getting in trouble if like because I also see like some YouTubers like use it to, like uh YouTubers have to like use specific wording to avoid saying the words that make the money go away.
Right. Which is both true and not true. I think from my understanding it's like actually honestly like it depends on how many if you don't curse a whole lot, you can use like a little bit and then you'll probably be okay.
Hmm.
I guess I think it like depends. But there was a lot of stuff that was like came out that I think there's a lot of people think that like oh I can't use this word or whatever, and it's well, but I think a lot of it's I think TikTok is actually more like proactively against using of certain words, whereas like YouTube isn't as bad, but
No, on
people train them.
YouTube. Mm,
So
oh,
I,
sorry.
I, so I think there's like some things where it's like people are so used to doing like with like TikTokifying their language that they carry like the same things over to YouTube, which aren't necessarily as whatever. But I could be wrong about that.
I do know that on YouTube, like people avoid the word suicide. I'm not sure if that's like comfortable saying that, but
Hmm.
it's not a word that you have to avoid on YouTube. You can't glorify the act.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing YouTube actually cares about. You can say the word, but you can't glorify.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that one's like the specific like where it's. I think that was like the big example where honestly it's like TikTok is very much like you can't use that word. I think, whereas is when will actually get mad at you. It's not as much YouTube. They're like depending on. So yes, if you are so I think it's yeah. If you are reading, the work of literature that is Squidward suicide, as long as you don't say it, repeat the name over and over, you should probably be fine. Um. Uh. So yeah, I'm. I sometimes like am like very somewhat like more patient with that, and then there's other times where it's like I hear they're also people are very unoriginal of how they like censor some words, like especially
Mhm.
like okay, because they're like terms for you know like that are like very old that there's no way that the YouTube bots are gonna be like aware. So you know you could say so like one that I like is perform the happy dispatch. I've heard that one
I've
before.
heard that one.
Yeah. So you'd be like, and then Juliet performed the happy dispatch. And if you were to use that in front of like, I'd like to hear someone in the middle of like a true crime or like a, crime thing on like of something. And then you know, and then the shooter after like doing the thing committed before the police could get them, perform the happy dispatch. I would almost pay someone to
Also,
do that just because I want to hear what that would sound.
it's also like a big issue of like it just takes the weight out of it.
Yeah,
Like, you almost make it sound like a joke
yeah,
with some of the word, like some of the terms they use instead.
yeah. There's, 'cause, yeah, you could. I mean, it's like using like there's, yeah. It's if they do like some of that, and because you could see, I think you could still like say like someone took their own life, and then that would because I don't. I think that one probably would be easier to get through, which I don't really hear that one used a whole lot. I feel like people could probably get away with that one. Um, more often than some of the others. Um, and then yeah, there's when yeah, just bust out the historical English euphemisms for for doing that, or like for murder or something like that. If you're that worried, at least be interesting about it. And, then you can say, I'm just being classy. I'm being historical. I'm preserving figures of speech of the English language, as opposed to making my language juvenile while also trying to speak about serious topics. But anyway,
Yeah.
um, uh, okay. Now, what is your favorite curse word?
I guess the most like common one I use is like bastard,
Mm-hmm.
because I do use that for as an insult and as an affectionate nickname.
Oh, oh, you belong to the the patent school of you magnificent bastard. I read your book. School of affection. There we go. Okay. Now, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Would full time VTuber be one? Be an answer there?
Yeah, I'd say you could do that.
Because I think that's like every VTuber like wants to do that in some way.
Hmm.
Maybe not all, but most.
Yeah,
Because it gives them more free time.
a majority probably yes. Because I think that's you know, most people do it as a hobby, and then I mean, with most people in general, like if they could turn their hobbies into if their hobby could become their career, they'd be ecstatic. So, you know, kind of going the same thing like with VTubing is. So, yeah.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
um, okay, then if you had $100 million to make a movie, what would it be?
Uh, Kind of in the vein of uh, The Ritual, if you've seen that. Like, like a psychological monster film with uh, who I just want to say, like, because The Ritual had both a really good monster and really good psychological elements in one horror film.
Where I've seen that, or like I've heard of. Hold on.
I forget when it came out, but also one of the rare times where the movie was actually much better than the book.
Mm. Okay, maybe I haven't seen. Okay. Just wondering, okay, I might have to look that in because I thought sounds interesting. And I guess I was because I thought I'd done the thing where I was like, wait a minute, I think I've heard this one, and then I was apparently thinking of someone else of something completely different
Fair, yeah.
of like of not having seen it, but I was like, the I think I've scrolled past that looking for a movie to watch, you know.
Hmm.
Um, or I've seen a trailer for that. I guess okay, but no, I don't think I have. Guess it was something else with a similar title. Um,
It is a fairly generic sounding title.
mm, yeah, the 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 somewhat foreboding word or potentially foreboding word is very much a very formulaic horror movie uh title scheme,
Hmm. Hmm.
which I feel
I
like
do recommend it.
mm,
it. The Ritual, at
mm,
least.
I was just thinking of words that if you made it sound foreboding enough, like during a trailer, would it work with a whole bunch of words?
Like there is always the classic The Shining,
Yeah,
which is an effective one, but
just trying to think. I was thinking of. I'm looking at my teacup now. I'm like, would the cup potentially make a for? I don't think the keyboard would work, but I don't know. Maybe the cup, if it had a good like poster or something, you know, or a good tag on it, might be something there. Keyboard, no. Cup, maybe, because you can have like, because cups of something can be scary or like foreboding,
mm,
cup of wrath
maybe
or something like that.
maybe with the right poster, like
Mm,
have it a lone cup surrounded by like empty saucers, but the one cup has a chip in it, and you can
yeah,
see a red liquid. There you go.
yeah, or like something black and whatever. The candle.
I wouldn't be surprised if that is something.
Yeah, that probably
That
is
sounds.
actually the desk. The the cabinet. I don't know. This has just become Virgil sees objects in his room and then tries to make them sound like horror movie titles. Okay. The water bottle. That doesn't work. The fish. I don't. Maybe.
See a Jaws ripoff.
I don't know. Maybe. Depends on the poster, I guess.
A little fun fact about Varog. That movie could actually work on me because I have a minor phobia of fish.
Oh, like in general or like specific types of fish?
Just the look of most fish. I'm
Like the eyes, I guess, kind of.
a little bit. It's just I just don't like seeing them.
Hmm. I guess I could like some people kind of like, especially like the way like fish eyes or faces look. I guess I could see how some people would like potentially like.
It's
Oh,
also the feeling for me because that's where it kind of started, which is a bit strange because I do like feeling snakes because I've like held one or two in the
hmm.
past. I don't mind them.
Oh, it's like because yeah, fish do technically have like that, like a coat of slime like a bacterial kind of slime against them and not just scales. So I could understand that for sure. But while liking snakes, because then snakes are just, I mean, because a lot of reptile like kind of scales, it's almost kind of like maybe not so much snakes, but definitely I know with like skinks where it's almost kind of like it's like a piece of corn where it's just kind of slick,
Mm,
somewhat firm, but just very like
I see what you mean.
yeah, snakes be danger noodles, but very goofy. Like there are some snakes that are especially are very very goofy looking. What's the one that it's like that they look? What's a nice way to put this? They look. I'm trying to think of the name. Is it sand boa? Derpy, I guess. Okay, yeah. So it's an Arabian sand boa. They are the
Oh yeah,
the
I pulled up a picture.
they are the goofiest look. They have the goofiest looking faces.
Just put their eyes a bit too wrong on on their head.
Yeah, because it's like okay, because they like move for the sand, so it's like and adapt to get better. So you can see why their eyes would be positioned where they are. Hold on, let me get. I think it's Old World Sand Boas in general is the name, but they are the goofiest of goobers. Oh yeah, there's a great picture. Okay, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, I may have to show a picture of us Sand Boa to Mama Kobold because she hates snakes, but I'm just wondering, like, what her reaction would be to like one of these things would look like. Because it's like looks like a person trying to draw a snake from memory. Yeah, or it's like there's that there's that taxidermied lion that I think
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, I think it's in is it I think it's like either in I think want to say Sweden, but like a king had a lion that he was gifted and then of course then the lion eventually died. So they were like I want to have it, you know, preserve the body. So had it taxidermied, but the taxidermist obviously never saw the lion while it was alive. And it's the most cursed thing I've ever seen, or one of the like the dumbest looking things ever seen. It looks like the sand boa looks like the snake version of that. Um, okay, Swedish taxidermy. Yeah, okay.
I pulled up something. In 1731, King Frederick I of Sweden gave his late pet lion to a taxidermist who had never seen a lion before. I'm not sure if that last part is just a
Yeah,
joke or.
I, considering how it looks like, I feel that's probably a distinct possibility. So yeah, the snake, the sand boa looks like if someone had a snake and then they tried to like, but never seen like a snake before, like at least on the face, and then just like were made to do it. That's kind of the vibe I get from it. But yeah, arguably more people will know of that dude's lion because of this cursed job than if they had done a good job of it. Is the irony of that? Because like people specifically come to see your crap. Like it's a thing that tourists will specifically come just to see that monstrosity. But if it was just a regular taxidermied lion, they'd just be like, "Me." I'm sure. Cause you just be able to find, you can find those at just like, most one at like some, you know, natural history museum. You're going to be able to like see, at most of those in any like major city, you can find like a taxidermy lion. But are you going to see one that looks like
No
a
one will
child's?
remember no one will remember the 100th taxidermy lion, but everyone will remember the worst one.
Yes, everyone will remember the taxidermy lion that looks like it was as designed by a 5-year old drawing from memory. Uh, what is it? There's a song by a Canadian comedy group. History is made by stupid people. History is made by stupid people. Clever people wouldn't even try. If you wanna if you wanna be in the history books, then do something dumb before you die. Oh, okay. So who is your waifu and or husbando?
It's been a while since I like kind of gave this any thought, really. Mhm. Actually, I can just name two Dark Souls characters that I always joke about. Uh, the Firekeeper from Dark Souls 3
Mm-hmm.
for waifu, and Gwendolyn from Dark Souls 1 for husbando.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Uh, right.
Although many people would consider him to be the waifu,
Oh,
but it takes a real man to be best girl.
uh, okay. a reminding of some of a cursed history fact. Okay, let's see if I can remember this right. Although this feels like the preamble of something. Do I need to be worried about what you're about to say? Don't worry, it's not. It. So there was. Okay, if I'm remembering this, let me see if I remember this right. So, because this was it happened 20th century. So there was um a French diplomat that like had a Chinese mistress like for a long period of time until it was found out that mistress was actually a spy like after decades. Oh wait, I think they were even married. Of course, that was when they also found out um she was actually a guy. It was this spy
Ah,
that was that as part of his cover was to pretend. Hold on, I need to look up all this. Okay, the specific names. It is okay. Hold on.
ah.
Okay, Chinese spy that was French diplomats mistress. Okay, yes. All right. Okay. Shi Pei Pu, uh, born 1938 and lived until 2009, was a Chinese opera singer and spy. He obtained classified information for Bernard Borisco, an employee at the French embassy, during a 20-year sexual relationship in which he convinced Borisco that he was a woman. She also claimed to have a child, a Uyghur boy whom he insisted was the result of their relationship. The case drew significant media in France when the true circumstances were revealed. The affair inspired American playwright David Henry Hwang's M. Butterfly, which was produced on Broadway and adapted in 1993 film of the same title. Uh, so, uh,
For 20 years, that's committing. That's
yeah,
committing to the bit.
yes. So if you want to, I'm as many people are already that be like want to go with the, have many questions on, or the response is wait, 20 years and that's, I have questions. You can read the Wikipedia to see on maybe like some of the details on uh on some house stuff. Uh I'll just say Bro had some interesting abilities, okay? And if you want to go with
Special
that,
set of skills.
yes, I'll just put the name in the chat and then y'all can Google that on Wikipedia for the details if you want. So that is that is the someone that really took that personally in terms of the takes best man to be best wife. um yeah, there you go. There's some cursed information brought to you by Virgil B. Um all right. So next one, what inspired you to get into streaming?
Mm, for a genuine answer, it was not a last ditch effort because that makes it sound a bit more drastic than it was, but it was kind of like, well, I'm not doing anything like in my life at the moment. Kind of roll myself into this and kind of hope it works.
Mm,
And because it was during like I started watching VTubers
mm-hmm,
around roughly around the same time I was going through a kind of a bout with depression.
mm-hmm,
And like I said, it wasn't like a last ditch effort because that makes it sound too drastic, but it was well, let's give this a try, see if it works.
mm. Uh, yeah, I mean, uh, like as for like when I got into VTubing, uh, so I'm is so because I'm on I'm on disability, um, for both due to major recurrent depressive disorder is like the specific clinical diagnoses, uh and then on top of that, general anxiety disorder. um so I can't really, I can't really hold on to um like an actual like normal job. So I on that, and then so this is kind of, so I started doing this because I was thinking about it and I realized, like, well, I could maybe potentially do this. So kind of as
Hmm.
something that
Hmm.
to do that's actually constructive. So in a way, kind of. So I can definitely relate to where you're coming from, as far as the reasons why. So um uh and then so it's thankfully I'm still doing it, and I do enjoy this. So I'm very grateful that I'm able to you know do it. um I can't I'm far from being able to, like, this could be like its own self-sustaining career. So
Yeah.
but I also still don't like get like enough from it to where it's a problem for you know not no longer receiving you know coverage on things. So uh but okay, let's see. And then let's see. So what inspired your design slash theming?
So uh this is a bit of a strange question because this is actually the third like take on myself as Virag.
Hmm.
Because when I first started, uh, I was a actually fairly similar. I was a demon goat priest,
Hmm.
but I kept that for a little bit, and then I became ca- uh, a demonic goat sorcerer,
Hmm.
and both of those had very little inspiration. And as you can tell now, I have a new take on things, where I am a just a satyr, where I'm not a mix of anything, but I am a shamanistic warlock,
Mm,
and that took inspiration from again Warhammer of all things,
mm.
because in the fantasy version of that game there is a faction called Beastmen
Oh, yeah.
who are much more animalistic, as in they have actual like animal heads and stuff,
Mm,
but they are forest dwelling barbarians,
mm,
for lack of a better term, and I quickly fell in love with them for actually before I became a VTuber.
mm,
It was just, it took me this long to finally realize I'm going to take inspiration from the things I do enjoy.
mm. Okay. Um, and let's see. I know this, so it's um, because I don't think you've been doing that long. Because I looked at your profile. I can't remember what it was. What was so remind me how long have you been streaming? Because I believe it's been under a year, hasn't it?
It's actually been close to 4 now. It might be because I changed my name that it kind of reset things, because originally it was Hellhorn, now it's Bloodhorn.
Oh wait, so it was 4 years. Wait, wait. Sorry. Let me start. Wait, was it 4 months or 4 years? Sorry.
I I think it's close to 4 years.
Okay.
I'm actually very bad with dates, so if you want a specific
Okay.
like time,
Well,
I'm
that's
actually
fine.
not going to be aware of it.
That's fine then. Okay, because I thought it was on your profile that. Okay, I guess maybe it reset.
It might be because I changed my name, because I know that messed up a lot of things.
Uh, Where did I see the? Okay, now I'm not seeing that. Okay, I don't know where I saw that thing. I don't know. Okay, I'm wondering if maybe it's just because I like saw a social media thing and it was maybe like the account. Maybe I saw your blue sky or something like that, and it was like member
Blue Sky,
since.
that's recent, but checking Twitter, like that came about. I made my Twitter account before that, and that was 2021,
Hmm,
and it was a while after creating that account.
okay, I may be getting mixed up with. Okay, my apologies. That I may be getting mixed up with like a different um
No issues, no
person.
problem
So
there.
um, and then let's see. So what have you enjoyed most about streaming?
Uh, I am not a very social person. I don't like. Uh, I guess a better way to say that is, and many people I meet in person, I tend not to like. That is just my personality does not collide well with others.
Mm-hmm.
But the social aspect has greatly affected me. Like I said earlier, I started this during about depression, and sorry, since then I've made several friends
Mm,
from just being a VTuber, and many of those friendships I consider uh, significant now.
mm. Yeah, that's definitely like a lot of kind of here common as far as uh I've gotten that answer quite a bit of people of that of the people that they've met, is what they've enjoyed. Getting to know people and meeting people has been what they've enjoyed most about doing this. I want to say I feel like that's probably close to half um, of like the guests on I have. I want to say like probably about close to half about is the of how many people say that type of answer. Um, but so what have you streamed that's had the most psychological or emotional impact on you?
I've had many collabs, and from like I've pretty much made friend groups out of some of these like collab partners I've had. When I first started, I was fortunate enough to also start roughly around the same time as what we refer to each other as like siblings,
Hmm.
both Rigging Mama and or Rigging Art Mama, Rigging Papa, both were the same for all four of us. We formed a group for a little while. Unfortunately, they don't stream anymore,
Hmm.
but then I found a different group of all goat themed VTubers, and we formed a little thing. But the most like one significant one, uh, stream I did was um, I hosted a tabletop RPG, and I took the chance and invited my Oshi, and she accepted because before that we were I want to say friends.
Hmm.
Like we talk to each other quite often, so I want to say we're friends at this point. But like since like before I started VTubing, I looked up to her, and getting the chance to actually play a game, we she's she likes tabletop RPGs,
Hmm.
and this was a system I've been wanting to try for a long time. So getting to do that was like, most uh, significant, I think, emotionally.
Mm. Uh, what is and maybe you might have the same answer for this one as well, but if not, that's fine. But what has been one of the most memorable moments streaming you've had?
Uh, one significant moment. Actually, I think it would probably be I like before the GoTubers like made a kind of official quotation marks group of each other. I managed to get three of them to play a few rounds of Left 4 Dead 2, and I wasn't sure how we were going along because I was the one who like picked the other three because they had no clue who each other were at the time. And during one match, one of my friends went down, and in Left 4 Dead, you have to make tough choices. So I said, "Fuck it, leave him." And they all started laughing, and I realized, and I was kind of like, "Okay, maybe I didn't fuck up." I mean, it also didn't help that I may have thrown a gas tank on top of him and blew it up, so there was a fire.
uh, okay. Oh,
But
um, And then what has been your favorite collaborative event? Has been your favorite collaborative events you've taken part in?
That one will probably be the tabletop RPG
Hmm.
that I hosted, because that was with a friend who I've made several collabs with. Like I said, my Oshi and two of my close friends who we used to play tabletop RPGs but haven't gotten the chance to in a long time. So getting to do that
Hmm.
with all four of them.
Uh, okay. And then uh, what what streaming goals do you have currently? Both short term and then more long term.
I was gonna say short term. I guess this would be short term, but have a well, I would consider a large number of followers, but I've reached 300 and I think that's a big number because
Hmm.
that's more people than I will ever talk to.
Yeah.
I know that's like in the VTubing sphere or just streaming content creating, that is a sick like that is a fraction of a number for some people. But to me that's more than enough really. Because like 300 people, I can't imagine that many.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
guess another one. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, 300 is nothing to, you know. I mean, that's numbers wise, that's still like a lot more like percentage wise than a whole bunch of streamers. Honestly, if you get into like the number, I think on like the
Hmm.
numbers, I'm
It's just
sure.
that everyone, you
Yeah,
always look up. You don't think about everyone around.
yeah, uh,
And I
yeah.
guess another goal would be just being able to, like, off of Twitch money, being able to afford or guilt free afford a Warhammer World of Warcraft subscription.
Mm.
Like, just being able to use streaming money to just pay off that so I can continue playing it guilt free.
Oh, yeah. Right. And then, if you could collab with one famous streamer, who would you pick?
Game streamer, I would have to say either Zentrea or uh, Lena Lazar.
Mm. It's nice. Okay. And then, what advice would you give to people considering streaming or VTubing?
I'm sure people have said this before, but even before starting properly, think things through. Because I mentioned before, I have gone through several versions of myself, and to say that was uh, an expensive mistake could be an understatement. Because I have two full live 2D models from as the priest and as the sorcerer,
Mm.
and that is why I am a PNG to this day because I have not yet been able to justify getting a model of like a live 2D model of this quite yet.
Mm.
So like of course go PNG first. I did that still, but
Mm.
it was just I had an issue of like, yeah, this is a good model. Like artist obviously did an amazing job. Rigging did very good, but I just am I happy with this character design? And ultimately, I decided not yet, but now I am.
So you kind of advise people to like, really think things through, take your time and think things through before before you really want to commit to, making any big purchases for or commitments involving VTubing type equipment or things. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
You don't need to jump in headfirst to like obviously need a big expressive model and I'm not sure if people like there are ways to get a free model like kind of making your own in a way. It's like I think it's called Vroid.
Yeah, Vroid.
I think that's free.
Yeah, Vroid is free. That's a great. You can do. There's a lot of things of impressive things people have done with that with the software that kind of really that learn how to do with it. Um, but even if you don't know like a whole lot, it's I believe it's fairly simple to make. You know, a model you can use based off of one like the templates they provide. So um, there's yeah, I don't there's a number of people that have like that are able to do really interesting and unique things done with Vroid models. So and once again, the software is free to use. So uh, there's so that's a free option, and there's a lot of things that things that are out there that require like either minimal that are like very minimal in terms of cost or for free depending on if you look into it as far as stuff you for starting out.
Mhm.
um so yeah, I really do appreciate you coming in for the interview this night. The power has stayed on for this whole interview. I'm very happy about
Yeah,
that.
that's a good thing.
No drops, anything like that. We're doing good. I don't even have a single dropped frame for this whole thing. I'm very happy.
Ah,
You've done
nice,
great.
very nice.
So, um, and I think everyone that has come out to support Reg Bloodhorn here, um, is there any streaming events upcoming that you would like to let people know about? Like give you
Uh,
a shout out.
n- I don't have anything big planned for next week because I don't. I have a bad habit of not planning anything until the week of, like getting thing like talking like on Monday, like figuring out what to do.
Loose Tooth sounds like a
But
name you would give a runt
I
orc.
guess the closest thing is that uh,
Yeah. Like how I was called
tomorrow
small,
night I
like how
will
I was
be
called
playing
Smallhorn
Skyrim again,
or
and
Shorthorn for most of my
I
life.
Yes.
I have a bad habit of, well, not a bad habit,
Yeah,
but I
that
have
is
made a effort every time I play
that would be
Skyrim
funny.
to go as long as I am physically willing to.
Oh wow, impressive.
I have had like, I think the longest stream is 12 or 13 hours. It's not going to be that long tomorrow, but I have gone for multiple hours.
See, you said 13 hours?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that is on up there. I think the longest I've ever gotten to was like 9. I'm trying to think. Uh
guess for an upcoming thing is that I do have one thing planned for next week, which is I'm going to be replaying the Hellblade 1 so I can play the sequel finally. If you're familiar with Hellblade, Senwa's Saga or Senwa's
Oh,
Sacrifice.
right. Okay. Yeah, I know of that game. Okay. Yeah, I haven't played it, but I know of like the series that you're referring to.
A very beautiful, dark game.
So, but yeah, I hope that goes well. And it's been a pleasure to have you on. I really do appreciate you coming on in.
I'm very thankful that that you let me do this.
Mm. So, yeah, but I hope y'all have enjoyed episode 29 of Spilling the Tea with our guest Virag Bloodborne. And so thank you all, and I will see y'all next time.